Yes guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to episode number 40 of our EAFC 26 career mode here with Coventry City. And after our opening day victory, massive victory against Millwall, 5-1 the scoreline. If you haven't watched the episode, make sure you go back and watch it. It was the opening of our season 4 as a manager in this game, and we made some big signings, and then obviously we have that massive victory against Millwall. But we do come into this one with a break from the league action straight away. We are in the EFL Cup and we are at home at the CBS Arena against Tranmere. You'll notice we are wearing our away kit, even though we are at home in Coventry. It's due to obviously a kit clash, so just bear that in mind. But obviously we are at home, but we have made a lot of changes in this game, obviously being against lower league opposition and being the cup game. We want to give most of our first choice players a bit of a rest. We did change to a 4-2-4 formation, a really attacking formation, obviously being the team that are expected to win this game fairly easily. And we did give a start to Abiku, who at the start of the episode did message us saying he wanted to play in this one. There is also a first start, a competitive start, should I say, for the winger Dan James, and there's also a first start for the young goalkeeper Awoke, who we brought over from Brentford in the last episode. 18 years old, obviously came through the Brentford Youth Academy when we were there, and we have signed him to Coventry now as well, so he's starting to go, and hopefully he can have a good game and keep a clean sheet. But we were obviously the team that were expected to win, but Tranmere had their opportunities throughout this game. They got a good chance there, but it was a good block from the young centre-back Vivian Charles, and then from the corner we managed to get the ball out. It fell to Dan James. We know how much pace he's got, that's the reason we brought him in. He's through on goal, he's got no defenders around him, all he has to do is slot it past goalkeeper and he makes no mistakes. And Dan James, on his debut, or his full debut for the club, obviously came on as a substitute against Millwall. On his first start for the club, he does get his first goal in the 25th minute to give us a 1-0 lead in this cup tie. But like I say, Tranmere had their opportunities, and it was this man Davison who had majority of them. A good shot there from him, but a really good save from a young goalkeeper Awoke to keep the ball out the back of the net. But then we got another chance just before half time. The youngster Andrews picks up the ball, nicks it off the defender, gets a decent shot away, but a good save from a Tranmere goalkeeper to push one behind. So we did go into half time with a 1-0 lead. Only 1-0 at this stage. Obviously, like I say, we were expected to win this game, so it was a bit disappointing not to be more up, but we were more than happy to be in front. We were more than happy to still have a clean sheet intact, and hopefully we can build on that in this second half. And it is the youngster Abiku who does get the next opportunity. Good run from him, to be fair, but a fairly poor shot straight down the arms of McGee in the Tranmere goal to keep that one out. But then we started to come on. It's Dan James once again looking for his second goal of the game. A decent chance for him, but a good save from McGee once again. Just knocks his feet and it does go behind for a corner. And it's the Welshman who is going to swing this one in towards the youngster Vivian Charles. Can't quite get the header. It falls back out to Thomas Sante. Gets recycled back out to the Welshman Dan James. Looks to swing one in. It's Ellis Sims at the back post, and an unbelievable header beats the defender and loops that ball over goalkeeper to give us a 2-0 lead with 20 minutes left in this one. Obviously missed out on the opening game of the season, obviously with Hadji Wright starting that one, but makes no mistake there, the young Englishman, to give us that 2-0 lead. And just a couple minutes later, it was another chance for us. Dan James once again down the right hand side, plays it back to Andrews. A really good shot once again from Andrews, but a good save once again to his right hand side for McGee. And we did make some changes. Sakamoto, De Silva and Raphael coming on. Again, players that bar Sakamoto, the other two obviously not really in that first team pitch in the league at the minute, so we wanted to make some changes. And then from the corner, Sakamoto swings it in. A good header once again from Vivian Charles, but unfortunately just wide of the post. And with 5 minutes remaining, it's the substitute Raphael picks the ball up, plays it out wide to another of players who doesn't start very often for us. Torp plays it in, and it's the other substitute Sakamoto on his weaker right foot. Unbelievable finish on the volley to power that one past goalkeeper and put us in a 3-0 lead. And like I said, with 5 minutes remaining, we were comfortable that we were going to win this game, but we wanted to obviously put on a good show for the fans. We do get a chance right towards the end of the game. It's Sakamoto down the right hand side, and it is that man, the man who asked us for a game before the game started, Abiku, who does finish that one. Easy tapping from a couple of yards out, but he does manage to get his goal to give us a 4-0 lead. And unfortunately, we didn't manage to keep the clean sheet. Awoke, the youngster on his debut, obviously wanted that clean sheet, but unfortunately Tranmere did get one. A really nice finish, to be fair, from Patrick from that left hand side. Curled it around Awoke and does pull one back for Tranmere. Nothing more than a consolation goal, but obviously he's buzzing scoring against a higher league opposition. But luckily we did manage to come away with a 4-1 victory, and we are through to the next round. And a message from the youngster Justin Abiku saying he was happy we listened to him and gave him a start, and obviously he rewarded us with that goal as well, so fair play to him. But before we go back into league action, and our next game is against Sunderland, we do have another potential transfer coming into the club, and it is a young man from Belgium, only 21 years old, but an absolute unit of a player. 6'4" he is, and it is Nathan De Cat. He Only 72 rated, admittedly, but like I say, 20 years old. He's 6'4". He's got some really good defensive stats already. Going to sit in that defence midfield spot as well. And we do agree a fee of just over £4 million with a little bit of a selling on bonus as well. I mean, all it was down to was the wages. We did agree a rotation role. Like I say, 72 rated. He's not going to play every game, but we do agree a deal of £15,000 a week for 4 years. Small signing on bonus as well. And we do have our new boy in the door at Coventry, and it is the Belgian Nathan De Cat coming from Anderlecht. And like I say, if you look at his stats here, they're not amazing, if I'm being honest. Again, his main ones are obviously his defending and his physical. He is a defence midfielder, but like I say, he is 6'4". He's only 20 years old, and he can definitely grow with the club and do a job for us in there as well. So hopefully we'll see a lot of him. Then we do get a message before the Sunderland game from Ellis Sims. Obviously scored in that last game in the Cup, and he wants to obviously start in this one. We decided not to give him a start. Obviously we do have to think back to that Millwall game. Mason Clark obviously got a hat-trick from that left-hand side, and Hadji Wright did get 2 goals himself in there. So we wanted to obviously keep Hadji Wright in the team after that 2 goals against Millwall, but there's definitely a chance for Ellis Sims will come on in this game and get some minutes in this one against Sunderland. But we knew it was going to be a tough game, obviously away from home, up in Sunderland. Still got some really good players, the Sunderland team, still got a lot of their players from their Premier League stint as well, so we knew it was going to be difficult, but hopefully the win against Millwall and the win against Tranmere would give us some momentum. But unfortunately it was Sunderland who did get the goal fairly early on, 14 minutes into this one, and it is Johan Bonny who does give Sunderland the lead. A good strike, really powerful shot to be fair, on the inside of the goalkeeper, and it does hit the back of the net to give Sunderland 1-0 lead. But we had our chances. Jack Radoni getting down that side, plays in Dan James, starting in the league for the first time for us after his goal in the Cup game. Good shot from him, but a good save from the Sunderland goalkeeper to push it on wide of the post, and it's Radoni who's going to swing the corner in towards the captain Liam Kitchen, but unfortunately an absolute wild header, and it does fly over top of the crossbar. So it's still 1-0 to Sunderland at this stage, but Sunderland started to build about half an hour into this one. Mundell with a really good shot, but a good save from Dovin in the goal to keep the ball out the back of the net. Really good run there from Mundell, to be fair, and like I said, it was a decent shot, but a good save at his near post from Dovin. Ball's going to come short to Ramsak on that left hand side, comes back to Ramsak, plays it out of the edge of the box to Dennis Sirkin. Sirkin looks to Siddiqui. Siddiqui comes inside, bit of trickery with his feet, gets a decent shot away, but once again Dovin, good reactions from him to keep that one out and keep the scores at 1-0. And just before half time, Ramsak once again, who gets the ball, plays in Diarra, plays a quick ball into Johan Bonny, and the man who scored the first goal makes no mistake to get Sunderland's second of the game, and it is that man Johan Bonny who does put Sunderland into a 2-0 lead going into half time. So a big second half on our hands here to try and get anything out of this game, but it was us who started better of the two teams. Just a couple of minutes into the second half, it's Radoni who picks the ball up, good ball into Mason Clark, scores a hat-trick against Millwall in the last league game, but a good save from the keeper to keep that one out. It does get recycled back out, but unfortunately we couldn't do anything with it. Falls eventually into the Sunderland players. Traore picks the ball up in the middle of the park into Ramsak, looks to play it out to Dennis Sirkin, plays it out to Mundell down that left hand side. Van Uvik tries to close him down, does manage to get the ball, but unfortunately Mundell does nick it back off him, plays it back into Ramsak. Ramsak's got options, plays into Johan Bonny, looking for his hat-trick, good shot, but a good diving save from Dovin to keep that one out. And then just a couple minutes later, Johan Bonny once again picks the ball up on that right hand side, looks for his options, plays into Diarra, good shot from Diarra, but once again Dovin with a good reflex save, tip that one over the top of the crossbar. So after a little bit of pressure from that Sunderland team, we did manage to get another chance ourselves. The ball eventually finds its way into Hadji Wright, good shot from him on his left foot, but a good save from a Sunderland goalkeeper to tip that one round the post for a corner kick. And we did make some changes, and is Ellis Sims coming on alongside Sakamoto and Rossier to try and turn this game back in our favour, and some fresh legs coming on, but unfortunately it was Sunderland who managed to get their third 20 minutes before the end, and who else but Johan Bonny to get his hat-trick, his third of the game, and Sunderland's third of the game, to give them a lead which I think at this stage will not be possible to get anything back from. Like I say, 20 minutes remaining, a really good Sunderland team. We knew it was going to be a tricky one. It was Sunderland, to be fair, who kept coming on. It's Kuto who gets a good shot, but Dovin keeping that scoreline down as low as possible with another good save from him, and the scorelines did end 3-0. Ellis Sims messaged us after it saying he was happy to get some game time, so we obviously acknowledge that. Obviously it didn't quite work out for the team in general, but he was happy he got some minutes. And then we did get a message from the board to say our job security had been changed to safe, so that's obviously good news. And then before the next game against Norwich, we did get a message from Victor Torp saying he wants to stay. He saw obviously the message from Sims and Obikwe previously where it worked and they got some game time, and it worked again. Victor Torp coming into that midfield role alongside Eccles, replacing Matt Grimes in that midfield role, and Victor Torp does get a game here. Like I said, it's going to be a difficult game against Norwich. We are back at home, but obviously our momentum has been stunted a little bit by that heavy defeat by Sunderland. But I think the quality between Sunderland and Norwich is quite different, so I'm confident we can come into this one, hopefully get something out of it, minimum a point, but if we can get all 3 points it'll be absolutely brilliant for us. And it was us who got the better of the chances in the first half. Just 10 minutes into this one, Hadji Wright picks the ball up after a good ball from Mason Clark, and Hadji Wright makes no mistake without poking it past the goalkeeper to give us a 1-0 lead just 10 minutes in, and the American has got his third goal of the season in just 3 games, and we do have that 1-0 lead over Norwich. And we carried on attacking really. Another decent chance for Hadji right here. Takes it a little bit earlier because he could see the defenders around him, but unfortunately couldn't quite bend it into that post, and it does go wide of the post. But Norwich have opportunities. Just before half time they did get the chance. Kroenak with the shot, but in a really good finish to be fair. Dovin looked like he might have got a hand to it, but it was too far in that top corner, and Kroenak does manage to pull Norwich back level just before half time, and we do go into the break at 1-1. And then early in the second half it was Norwich who got the best chance early on. It's Sargent with a really good shot from that initial throw in, but a good save once again from Dovin to push it on behind for a corner kick. And all we need to do now was obviously defend this corner. It's right on it, he plays it short into Diallo. Diallo swings one in towards Harry Darling. Unfortunately he couldn't quite make the header. We do manage to get the clearance in, but Norwich do manage to get the ball back as Juraseka picks the ball up, plays it into Fitzarson, plays it into Wright, back to the midfielder, plays it into Juraseka at left hand side, back to Kidsvarson. Good shot from him, but fortunately for us just whistles wide of that post and keep the scores at 1-1. Then we got another chance ourselves. Victor Torp, obviously he wanted the game. He skips inside the defender, gets a good shot, but a good diving save from the Norwich goalkeeper to keep the scores at 1-1. But unfortunately then Norwich did get another opportunity for themselves. As Sargent beats the defender and makes no mistake with the finish on that left foot of his, past Dovin, and does give Norwich their lead once again. And it is 2-1 to Norwich with about 25 minutes or so remaining of this game. So we knew it was going to be one that we needed to obviously do our best and obviously keep attacking. We do make a change of Hadji Wright, the goal scorer, coming off for Ellis Sims, and Ellis Sims got a really good opportunity straight after coming on. It's Dan James using his pace on the right side, sees Sims in the middle, gets the shot away, but unfortunately it just hits the legs of the goalkeeper and absolutely ruins the momentum of the ball and keeps it at the back of the net. But Sims once again gets another chance here, and it just isn't going his way since coming on. Hits the inside of the post and falls back into the goalkeeper's arms, but I'm sure he'll get plenty more opportunities. And this time he does pick the ball up, but unfortunately the defender just gets there, holds the ball off, plays it back in Dan James, but this time Dan James makes no mistake and he does manage to get his second goal for the club and bring us back level in this one with just 10 minutes left. And the Welshman gets his first league goal for us after scoring against Tranmere, gets his first league goal for us. And then just after that we do get another chance for ourselves. The Norwich players messing around the ball there. Rodoni picks it off him, sees a run from Sims. Sims is through again. This time he does make no mistake with it, nearly gets it wrong, hits the underside of a crossbar, but fortunately stays the right side of the woodwork and does go into the back of the net. He had a few opportunities since coming on, scuffed a few of them, hit the post on one of them, but fortunately he does manage to get the goal for us. Then just after that we do give a debut to the new Belgian Nathan De Cat in that midfield role, and obviously with just a couple minutes left it was all about defending this lead. But it's De Cat who wins the header from the free kick there. Rodoni picks the ball up, it's Sims once again, gets another chance himself and again makes no mistake and gets his second goal of the game after coming off a bench to give us a 4-2 lead. So from 2-1 down in the last 10 minutes of the game we have scored 3 goals, and we do end up with this 4-2 scoreline. Ellis Sims getting 2 of those goals, and it's going to be really tricky to decide between Ellis Sims and Hadji Wright who is going to be our starting striker, because they both seem to be in quality form at the minute. So that's a headache for me, but a good headache to have. We do get a message from Torp as well saying he was obviously happy with his game time. And then we do have the final game of the episode. We're back in the EFL Cup, and this time we are at home, and it is against fellow Championship side Sheffield United. Nathan De Cat making his debut, or his starting debut, in that central midfield role, and once again we've got the youngster Aoke in goal, and hopefully he can keep a clean sheet in this one. Hopefully we can come away with the win and get through to the next round of the EFL Cup. It is us kicking this game off from left to right, but it was us who got the first chance. Just 8 minutes in, it's Jack Rodoni, one of the first team players, making his start in this game, into Ellis Sims, but couldn't quite get the power in the header and straight into the goalkeeper's arms. But Sheffield United really came into this game. Davies picks the ball up, you can see that Aoki gets taken out by his own defender, but luckily the shot from Cannon, Latabodier was there and managed to block that one on the line. But Sheffield United keep coming forwards. Tom Cannon picks the ball up, he sees the run from Tyrese Campbell, and Tyrese Campbell makes no mistake, really nice finish to be fair, into that bottom corner past Aoki, and does give against Sheffield United, 1-0 lead, 20 minutes into this game, and like I say, against a fellow Championship side with some really good players in there as well, to be fair. We knew it was going to be a difficult one, even this early on, to come back from, and Sheffield United kept attacking. They got another really good chance from Campbell. You'd put money on him to score from that distance, but luckily for us, he scuffs his effort, and it does go wide of post. We did get opportunities. Rodoni with a really good run here, and a really good shot from him, but a really good save, outstretched leg from the Sheffield United goalkeeper to keep the scores at 1-0. And just before half time, Sheffield United once again, it's Tyrese Campbell, goal scorer, beats the defender, gets a really good shot, but this time a really strong hand from Aoki to keep that one out and behind for a corner kick. So we did go into half time with that 1-0 deficit, and that nearly turned to 2 early on in the second half, but luckily for us, Tom Cannon's effort just went wide of the post, but Sheffield United kept attacking themselves. Tom Davies finds Tom Cannon, plays it into our blaster, plays it into Brooks. Aoki was in the middle of nowhere, and Anthony Brooks makes no mistake with that one, fires it into the back of the net and gives Sheffield United that 2-0 lead. So again, we knew it was going to be difficult to come back from this one, and we were going to get even more difficult. Tyrese Campbell getting his second goal of the game, a really nice looped finish over Aoki, and 3-0 to Sheffield United at this stage with about 20 minutes left of this one. Our heads were dropped, Aoki's head was dropped in the goal as well. We wanted to obviously keep attacking and keep trying, but we knew that anything we did was going to be difficult. Sakamoto does manage to pull one back for us, a good run down that left hand side from him, and a really nice composed finish to put that in the back of the net to break Sheffield United's clean sheet. And hopefully, well, all it was at this stage was a consolation goal, but hopefully it's the start of a really good comeback. But Sheffield United did manage to get their 4th of the game, and Tyrese Campbell manages to get his hat-trick. A really nice finish past Aoki once again, and a 4-1 scoreline to Sheffield United with just 5 minutes left. And unfortunately, that is how the game ended. So we do exit the EFL Cup in the second round, and it is against Sheffield United. Quite a heavy scoreline, that 4-1, on top of that heavy loss to Sunderland as well. But some good results against Tranmere and a good result against Norwich as well. So things to build on, but definitely things to work on. But it is going to bring the episode to an end. As always, if you have made it this far and you have enjoyed it, please like the video, please subscribe to continue following the journey. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.